Live inside the den with DJ D-Lex, Higher Level, and guest co-host Ross Coffee. Now let's turn up for the DJ D-Lex mixdown.
I ain't had that in a long time.
It's a West Bank favorite.
I got Gucci.
However, I'm a fool now. Gucci shoes now, money rules now. Oh, screaming, hollering, going on. Sharp as hell when I'm bailing up out the crib. Glad it's just how I live. Don't have a damn thing to give. Now please.
It's your favorite girl DJ D-Lex.
Bitch, I got Gucci. Bitch, I got the green, I got the black, I got Gucci. Bitch, I got the brown and all that, I got Gucci. Bitch, I got the high and low too, I got Gucci. Bitch, that ain't no ordinary shoe. Remember back in the days, niggas were ballads and shit, and they always hooked it up with a fresh little fit. However, I'm a fool now, Gucci shoes now, money rules now. Oh, screaming, hollering, going. Sharp as hell when I'm bailing up out the crib. Glad it's just how I live, don't have a damn thing to give. Now please don't get me wrong, I do a Nike and Reebok. Might even see me bailing with some chemical high tops. But G, you see, I die, black, brown, green, or blue. 3 bills, so whop, it ain't no ordinary shoe. Don't play my Gucci bitch, just because you got on a motherfucking $30 outfit. Don't play my Gucci bitch, just because you got on a motherfucking $30 outfit. Not bragging on what I got. Some people say I have nothing, but to a nigga like me, I got a little something, something. Shot, yeah, nice fry, house with leather inside. Gucci wear, living fair, people stare, but I don't care. Hoes like to laugh when they see me driving down in my hoodie. Can't go with you guys. Bitch, I got Gucci. Bitch, I got the green, I got the black, I got Gucci. Bitch, I got the brown and all that, I got Gucci. Bitch, I got the high and low too, I got Gucci. Bitch, that ain't no ordinary shoe. Now I'm not bragging, but I be ragging. Jabos always sagging. Best from the best, because the Meana can't be lagging. I spoke Gucci cause they suit me, knock the walls off some Gucci. And them hoes that's dragging about me ain't nothing but some groupies. Slugs by the teeth, them Gucci down to the feet. Sights wide, them niggas play hating on me. Job is in my nature. But it's all good because they all gon' catch the vapors. $2.99, so if I go get a pasta, looking in my face because it ain't cool to stare. I'm bad as seen, next them hoes up and clean. Made Michael screaming, Martin Luther have a dream. Player haters get mad because a nigga be shy. Mr. Meana's the name, and big boy's the job. I stay up on my gear because I gotta look nice. And if you don't know I'm the Gucci, just wear that's cool and alright. Cause everybody can afford it. Back in the days, a brother used to have fun. Now in 94, everybody wants to tote a gun. Brothers killing up his brothers each and every dang day because a brother got to get paid. Back in the days, afros and braves was the trend, but now you see it's all coming back again. Brothers driving 6-4, brothers pimping Izzo. Everything was Kizoo. Girls wearing platform shoes. To all your pimps, players, hustlers, and foes, the only thing I gotta say, let the good times roll, let them roll, let them roll. Got to let the good times roll, let them roll. Crazy stuff, jumping on the back of trucks, stealing out stores. All I want was gold, brothers selling herb in a Gap, and now it's 94 and everybody slaying crack. In 84, yeah, about 10 years ago, some sported fades of the brothers sported afros, but things are changing, rearranged. Brothers peeling cap quick, putting dang holes in your brain. Look at what happened, ain't no more scrapping. In 94, brothers all about gapping, so I'ma put it down way deep down in my soul, and let my good time roll.
Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, people. All right. Welcome to the Den Season 5, Episode 2. I'm your host, Higher Level.
I'm Ariana Grande.
I'm Jay Till.
And also on the ones and twos, we got DJ D-Lex in the background.
Yo, this week we got a special guest in the building. You know, we've been going dolo for a little while, doing our own thing. But we got one half of the New Orleans legendary group, Partners in Crime, Mista Meana in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah, like you said, I'm Mista Meana, one half of the group Partners in Crime. And honored to be here, brother.
Appreciate you. So we're going to get right into it, brother. Let's get a little bit into your early life. Tell us where you from exactly. We know you're from the city of New Orleans, but tell us where you from and how your upbringing was.
Well, I was I was originally born in like the St. Thomas Project area, moved to the Magnolia, but I claim Holly Grove. And the reason why I say I claim Holly Grove is because Holly Grove was a place that I moved to that kind of gave me the rules of being a man, a young man at least. I live by some of the things that I learned from those guys still to the day. Some of the principles that they instilled in me is what I stand on still to the day. So that's kind of like what I actually claim is Holly Grove. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So in Holly Grove, I mean, they got a lot of musical legends come out of Holly Grove, right? You, Wayne, who's some of the other
Fiend, Black Menace, who else? Lil Slim, Sporty T. I think Sporty T kind of lived in the 17 for a little minute, but Sporty T, people like that, you know what I'm saying?
Did you know any of them coming up prior to you doing music?
Yeah, that was majority. Black Menace was the inspiration for me to doing music because they was already doing it, and with them being like my big homies, there was like guys that I looked up to a level to say, damn, I probably could do it too because these my friends, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
At what age you was like, yo, I'm gonna knock on this. I'm gonna rock with this.
Well, I started like writing the raps of, the Fresh Prince. Parents just don't understand. I just listen to the record and try to write the words to learn it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stopping the tape, writing the words down to kind of learn what they were saying. And breakdancing was out at that time in that area, but I wasn't the best breakdancer. So I was trying to get into doing music, like rapping wise, and I was trying to like learn other people's songs so I can learn how to write music. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess if I write down what they saying, I can kind of like start writing my own raps in that pattern. You know what I'm saying? So it was like people like that. I pretty much everywhere I can go to Odyssey and get, I had a summer job. So every time I get my summer job money, I'm going to buy a pair of kicks and then I'm going to buy some music.
Facts,
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I'm doing. I'm studying the flow pattern of different artists and writing the raps down to try to, emulate that in my own way.
So how was that accepted in your hood at that time? Because early in that time, everybody wasn't trying to rap. Rap was relatively new on the scene at that time. How were your peers? Were you accepted in the neighborhood?
Hell no, that was a joke. Man,
I didn't know that.
they got girls saying, I came up in a rough era of it because hip hop lived in New York.
Right.
That was the mecca of hip hop. So anybody that was trying to do rap, they were like, that's your boy be trying to rap. The D boys kind of like ribbing you like more for, rap was like, pursuing rap was like clown shit to some people. You know what I'm saying? So we had to, I got in fights over that, disrespecting me thinking because I'm trying to rap that you can disrespect me in some kind of way. So, bring on a fight. So it was a little rough era in the beginning, but I had a passion for it. I really liked it. I think I have an ear for music, period. Like I think I would have been a better A&R than rapper, me myself, because I just love music, love, the production. I used to like to read credits and see who produced this, who did that. So, but yeah, that was a tough little time at that time because it was like, you either gonna make it or break you right here. Either you're gonna let them ridicule you and make you stop, or you're gonna prove to them that you're gonna be. And that's the side I took. I'm gonna show you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you that we're gonna make something out of this.
So at what age did you feel confident enough in yourself to let other people hear you rap? Because I used to rap when I was young too, right? But I wrote raps probably 3 years.
Way before you let
before
hear.
I was confident enough to say, hey, let me let somebody else hear. How long you think it took you?
Well, it went in various stages. It was almost like, you know, I was like a kid that draw too. So I'd be in a circle with some of my friends that draw. And in that circle, it was like a circle of people that I could be me. Like, meaning like I wasn't getting judged. So if I wanted to kick a rap, it wasn't like, that wasn't like outside people. It was almost like my inside circle of people. Like we, you know, probably all considered weird in that way because we're in a hallway drawing tennis shoes and trying to see who can draw the best tennis shoe and things of that nature. So if I had a rap, like I can express it to them, they'd be, oh, that's cool, I like that or whatever. And that was the people that, the couple of friends I had right there that built the confidence to make me say, I'm gonna say it in front of people that don't know me, you know, like, and see what they say, you know what I'm saying? So I remember doing gong shows. They used to have this club called Club 49. So all your greats, early parts like Juvenile, UNLV, Dolomite, just like all the little rappers that was kind of like trying to get on. They used to go to Club 49. Everybody used to get on the mic and kind of like just do their thing. So I remember being in there one Saturday and it was like, man, go, you know, get on the mic and rip for us. So I just went on the mic and it's like I wrote a little rap for my friends, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying their name in a song or whatever. And people kind of like took to that. So I was like, oh, I might have a little something with this because I got a good response from doing that, you know what I'm saying?
So that was Bobby Marchand.
Well, the Bobby Marchand thing started when me and Kango started becoming, you know, like trying to work on a group thing. Because I was winning like these gong shows in this thing. It wasn't even, it was like the same setting as a gong show, but it was at the Big Easy. And it was just like an open mic night, you know what I'm saying? And they had a $500 prize that you can win if you win, you know. And I was doing it by myself at first because me and Kango like 4 years apart. So Kango wasn't a guy that I was hanging with because he was just younger than me. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I'm 19, he's 15.
Right.
And, you know, it just wasn't hanging. But I had, you know, I always had love for him. It was like a little brother, big brother thing. Yeah. So when I first was doing the shows, it was just me by myself and the friends that I hung with, my peers that was my age, you know what I'm saying? And that's who was cheering me on. And, you know, but when Bobby Marchand part came in, it was more like, that's when me and Kango had tried to join as a group and we started entering the Bobby Marchand show.
I want to go back a little bit. In the book of your first concert, Run DMC.
Run DMC?
And how that affected the music and also the fashion. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Well, I remember going to the Raising Hell concert with the guys from Holly Grove. Like I said, I was a young guy, but I always hung with the older dudes. I, you know, just admired how they carried themselves. My mama trusted me with them, so she'd be like, yeah, you can go with them, you know what I'm saying? Actually, Black Menace, J-Dog and Threat. Like, my mama had love for those guys and allowed me to go to the concert with them. And I remember going to the Raising Hell concert and seeing Run DMC do my Adidas. And when they put up the Adidas shoe and I saw the effect that they had on the people, I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, I was like everybody else was jamming. I was just like kind of keyed in and focused on, look at the power that these guys possess with this microphone and this command and put your shoes in the air and everybody taking their shoes. I'm like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how can one man have that much power? That's how I felt. I was like, I want to do that. So that's really what opened me up to really wanting to pursue it more. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw the power in what Run DMC did. You know?
Hey, bro, it's funny you bring up that concert because I done heard a lot of legends in the city reference that particular concert. That must have been a big thing at that time.
Yeah, it was big. You know, rest in peace to Eli Ghost. That was a guy who actually owned like what that club is. Well, I can't believe I'm missing this club. Ghost Town. You know what I'm saying? And that's like kind of where Tucker got his little start at on the stage, on the mic and things of that nature. So he used to bring artists down, and that was one of the concerts that he had, you know, in production, Run DMC. So that's why so many, all the How to Go dudes was hyped to go because, you know, it was like Eli promoting it in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's shit, yeah.
I got the concert, y'all gonna come, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, you gotta let me go, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna be safe, I'm with, you know, such and such and such. So yeah, that was like my first concert, like, you know what I'm saying? And it really like changed my trajectory of life of like where I wanted to go at, like, you know?
So I saw you talking to me at X one time, and she made a reference. She said that y'all are considered first generation bounce, right? Mm-hmm. So that makes y'all kind of like pioneers of the movement. But in that early time, there was no bounce music, right? T Tucker didn't drop yet.
Yeah, Tucker and them was out.
Oh, they was out already.
Yeah, Tucker and them came out. We came out the reason why they call us the first, generation of it, because, it was like Tucker, you got UNLV kind of doing it, you got Juvie doing Bounce for the Juvenile. Like,
Right.
so we in that era, Lil Slim's Bounce Slide Ride, like all that kind of stuff was coming out, and here come Partners in Crime in the mix of that. So that's like the first generation, Jubilee out, you know what I'm saying? So they had people out prior to us coming out, but we was in the same generation of those people. It wasn't like a new style. All we did was add, because they had Pimp Daddy kind of still had melody in songs. So it wasn't like we came with something new. We just came with it the way we do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which incorporated melody as well, because Kango could sing. He come from like the church background type of guy, like playing, drums and things for the church. And pretty much his whole family is kind of like musically inclined. They all got kind of could sing or play some music or do something like that. So he brought that flavor. And when I first heard that, but I was like, boy, with my know-how and your skill level, we gonna get rich. You know what I'm saying? Because I when I met the brother, I just knew he was like super talented. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just off of the way, he never wrote. Like, so I hear people talk about Jay-Z was the first. I'm like, well, for me, the first was Kango. I never saw him write a verse down. Everything was like in his head, and he just kind of feel his melody, and I'll be like, man, write your verse. He'd be like, I got it. And go in there and knock it out. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little amazed with him about that, and I knew automatically this little brother got a gift. You know what I'm saying?
So that's how PNC got started.
Well, PNC got started from a mutual friend of ours by the name of Dejon. Rest in peace to my brother Dejon. But he was the guy that was kind of, I guess he was talking to Kango's sister or whatever. And I was going to Sarah T. Reed, the high school. Me and Dejon was there at the time. And he was just telling me like, matter of fact, I had graduated already, but I used to go back around the school to kind of check out the band, because I was in a band. So I go back and check out the band. He was like, man, Felicia, little brother, could rap, bro. You got to check him out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'll check him out. So I asked him to come walk with me to the front where they get, burgers and stuff from. And I was like, let me hear something, bro. And what was funny is that the vibes and the things that he was talking about, I had raps that coincide with that. Like whatever he talking about, I had something that go with that. Right. So I was like, man, this sound good. So I was like, I was already doing gong show. I mean, like the open mic things and winning money. So I just offered him the opportunity to come do it with me. You know what I'm saying? But I told him he had to stop hustling. I said, if you stop hustling, I'll bring you in on what I got going on over here. I said, you work at the meat market or whatever, meat market, and I split it because I was making $500, for winning that thing. Like you went the grand prize was $500, so I was winning the $500 every week. So I was like, Kango, if you stop hustling or whatever, bro, I'll split that with you. Right. And he was open to doing that, you know what I'm saying? And that's when we became the group. First it was just Mike and Walter. Like that's when we signed on the paper. And shout out to DJ Ryan. He was like, man, y'all gotta give me a group name. Yeah. So I used to be watching this TV show that used to come on HBO called Partners in Crime by Robert Townsend. He had it's like a skit. Yeah. It's like a skit thing like that. And that was the name of it, Partners in Crime. So I was like, I'm gonna name it that. But I just took the I out and put the N. How you'd be like Mike in, this girl or whatever. So I just took that out to make it like hip hop, and that's how the PNC thing got developed.
So let me back it up a little bit. You said you started in the Magnolia, then moved to Holly Grove. Right. How you end up going to Reed out there in the East?
Well, mom and them, my stepdad had got a job at NASA, man, and that's a commute. It's like real far, like to go way to Mizzou to come back uptown. So he was more like, that was a pretty good job. So he was like, man, we got to move closer to the job, and we wound up moving to Mizzou in the East, and that's how we got out there, like pretty much.
Was that a culture shock for you, like?
Yes, indeed. Listen, I used to get on the bus, so I was going to full share first, right? Right. So when we moved, that was just like a fall thing. So I was like, man, when the semester go to when you go to the second half, when you're going to third and fourth quarter of school, I was like, I'm gonna go to another school. So I wound up going to Abelson for a little half a year. And they had the platoon system out at that time where you go to school, the seniors and the juniors go to school from 6 to 12, and then from 12 to 6 is the 9th and 10th graders. So I was like in the 10th grade at that time, so I'm like, damn, I'm getting out of school at 6 o'clock. I wasn't used to that. Like then I'm on a bus with Buku Vietnamese, because that was like a lot of those people back there. And that's the bus they assigned me to. So I'm on a bus with buku, foreign people. Like, and I mean, it just felt like awkward. Also, they had broken my mom's house. Like, it ain't really breaking the house. My mom and them left the door open to go to Michigan to make these like runs to bring furniture back. So I only brought a few clothes with me on one trip. When I came back, all my clothes was gone. So I had to go to that school for a half a year with 3 outfits, like pretty much. You know what I'm saying, bro? And so that was a little struggle, like trying to fit in at this new school. Man, didn't you wear that Thursday? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to switch it up as much as I can, but only having 3 outfits just bound to be so repetition, that you're gonna be like noticing this dude ain't got too much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was like a little struggle, you know what I'm saying, for me in that transition. You know what I'm saying?
So recently you posted on your social media that you was the first person ever to get suspended from Reed.
Right, I did. So the first year that Reed opened, that was in '89. That was the year that they had the teacher strike. So when they had the teacher strike, that school was kind of like lean on me. And it was like a magnet school for a moment because everybody from everywhere wanted to come to that school because they was like, oh, the East got a lot of girls, and they had guys from uptown, downtown. Everybody was coming out there to read. So it was like a school with a bunch of people that, as the year went on, they started dwindling away because they started being around, they ride too far and people dropping out, transferring the whole nine. But that first beginning of the school, it was just crazy. You either in the cafeteria, you're in the auditorium, or you're in the gym. So they had this guy, he was like a street guy, mouth full of goals. And Biz Markie was out at this time. And Biz Markie had the song, like where he said, you treat me like a wet food stamp, right? So I had me and my friends, the first day we came to school, one of my friends, the guy who I had wore the food stamp thing with, his sister had like a limousine, her old man had a limousine service. So the first day of school, they brought us to school in a limo. So that was like impressive, like a big impression right there. So we get out, boom, everybody, who that is, but so that was a little talk. So whilst we not in no classrooms, we're in the gym, the second day of school, I come to school with the food stamp on, or the third day, something like that, with the food stamp. Every day we was trying to bring a trend there because we had made an impact from the first day. So as we trying to go, I got the food stamp on, and the dude saying, this like the dude, like I say, you could tell he was a street guy, Buku goes. He said, man, let me wear that food stamp because I was getting a lot of attention from it. So we're in the gym. I said, you can wear it, bro. So I go at the top of the bleachers, and a guy named Teddy, rest in peace to him too, he said, man, Mike, he gonna try to play you. So I'm like, he said, man, I'll get my food stamp back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's gonna try to play you. So I go down there, I try to talk to the brother. Hey, man, let me, I'm gonna leave early, bro. I think I'm about to leave early. So, I said, you can keep the food stamp. Just give me my chain back. So he got the thing between his legs. He's sitting on the bottom bleacher. He like almost like ignoring me, like, man, get out of my face. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, look, just let me still trying to work with him to get my stuff back. He just popped it. He just tore the food stamp, popped the chain, and threw it down. I stole on him. And that was like the first fight at Reed. Well, if it wasn't the first fight, it was the first one to get suspended. My mama lived down the street from the school, like maybe less than 2 minutes. But I'm talking about the street that lead up to the school, we lived on that block. So I was like the first person that they wound up suspending that year. Because I remember the principal saying, he was like, man, the school just started. You know what I'm saying? And, or whatever. But I had to defend mine at that. And when I came back to school, I was called the baby Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause my name was Mike. And that's where that reputation at school started in there. Like, I fought a lot in high school,
Gotcha.
Were you guys rapping during lunch at that time?
Yeah, that was a thing too. Beating on the desk, beating on the lockers, you know what I'm saying? Just getting it in. And a lot of guys was rapping at that time, like, in that little moment. And you bust your little verse that you got. And that was just something we did, like, you know what I'm saying? But Kango, when they was doing it, I wasn't, like I told you, we years apart. So that kind of trend just kept going on. And like one of my, it's crazy that I'm saying rest in peace to all these brothers, but it's like, it's just the cycle that we live in. And as y'all bringing me back, it's like, damn, he dead too. So this guy named Gary, we call him Gary Gnu, rest in peace to him. He was the one saying, man, you can't mess with my dog Mike. He went here last year or whatever. And then after he rap, he gonna beat you up. That's what he's telling Kango, you know what I'm saying? So Kango was hearing about me in his years of school before he actually had met me because, you know what I'm saying, people were saying, I was the section leader on Symbols when I had left the school. And I had made a mark at the school for his playing cymbals as well. So they was talking about me because Kango in the band, he played tenor drum. But, you know, I was all drum section stuff. So, you know, they talk about who left, who was here, who was cool, who used to be section leader. So he kind of knew about me prior to me actually meeting him. You know what I'm saying? He even said when I asked him to walk with me, he said, man, I thought you was trying to set me up at first. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I ain't like that. But, you know, I didn't know all the stuff that they was telling him prior. You know what I'm saying? But that's the preconception he had of me when he met me. You know what I'm saying? So.
Gotcha. So let's move over now to Big Boy Records. So before I ask this question, bro, I tell her all the time, like, I was a huge Big Boy Records fan.
Right.
I always felt, it's just me, because, you know, we didn't know Master P, right? At that time. We knew Cash Money. We didn't know No Limit Master P. We know Big Boy and Cash Money. And I felt like at that time, y'all roster from top to bottom was tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what was your introduction to Big Boy Records? That's a little
Well, it goes back to the Big Easy thing. Sporty T, like, so one night I'm in at 3-5, had a graduation. I had a girlfriend that had graduated from 3-5 at that time. And they had a big graduation party in the Big Easy. And it was on a Friday, so that Friday is the night that you do the open mic thing. So it was like, get on the mic. I'm competing anyway because I want that $500. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get on the mic. Sporty had got in the contest that night, but I wound up winning it. And I probably had a little edge on him too because everybody at 35 knew me. Like, I had a girlfriend, she was popular. I was popular for dealing with her, so they was kind of cheering for me, like, heavy, and I had an advantage on him that night because I think Sporty probably would have won the Gong show or won that little open mic thing because people really was familiar with him already as an artist. You know what I'm saying? So after I rapped, he was like, dabbed me off or whatever, and I was working at Swagman. I was a cashier at Swagman in the East on Bullock. Him and his girl come through the line one day, and he was like, "Say, bro, you was that dude that won the Gong show last week?" I was like, "Yeah." He like, "What time you get off?" I'm like, 4 o'clock. He was like, "Man, I'm coming back to get you." Came back like he said, sitting out there. I came outside, he was out there. "I want to take you to meet Big Boy Records, man. We about to start this label." I go rap for him. I was a little nervous because, you know what I'm saying, he was like a dude that his demeanor is almost like, it's like this plain, like just, he look at you like you stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he ain't got, it's just like this numb face. And then he was like, "Man, this dude whack, man." Like, you know what I'm saying? "Why you bring this whack ass rapper?" You know what I'm saying? Sporty. So I was like, "Damn, all right, cool. That's your opinion. You feel how you feel. It's cool." So Cash Money stopped doing, Cash Money stopped doing the Friday night thing. And Big Boy took over that same thing. It was like this thing had went through a lot of transitions. They just had the club overnight, then Cash Money had a Friday, and then Big Boy tried to do one because they was like, "This how you discover these artists." So Sporty was like, "Listen, bro, he don't know what y'all do. You know, come rock this thing on this open mic thing, and they're gonna see." And that's what we did. We came there. We wound up doing a song that we had against UNLV, the Pussy in a Can song. "The U is for unknown. We did that. The crowd went crazy. I get off the stage, Chuck was like, "Meet me at the office Monday and talk to you." You know what I'm saying? So it was like love, you know what I'm saying? And that's how we wound up signing with Big Boy, like, you know what I'm saying? But we was offered a deal first with Cash Money first. And I just refused. You know, I was like the big brother of the thing. Like I said, I was maybe like 18, 19 years old. And, you know, Kango was much younger. So he kind of went with my lead on, is we going to do it or we not? So me and Baby kind of, it wasn't that me and Baby clash. It was like kind of UNLV and me clash because Yella was kind of speaking on some stuff like, when we going to get paid? And I had saw, you know, at the time, like how Baby was kind of dividing us. He was like, you know, go sing it in reggae. You know, you got a song about it roller. He was like, "Sing it reggae." And I'm looking like, he was like, "Man, I remember I saw you on a mixtape. See, I saw you in the Gong Show." He was trying to make us be separate artists, like, you know, and I was just like, "Listen, bro." And I was honest with Kango. We caught the bus home. I said, "Say, bro, them dudes is kind of feeling you more than me." You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I said, "If you want to go with them, you can go with them. I'm not feeling dude." Because I just felt like Baby was like a manipulator at the time. That's how I felt.
Right.
And he ain't that much older than me, so he can't, I'm not looking at him like no daddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, image. I'm looking at him like a peer. Like, boy, I went to Full Shade too. I feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? So I just wasn't feeling him. So Baby called me and said, "Hey, bro, what y'all gonna do?" I'm like, we ain't gonna mess with it. Because Kango, when I told him about it, he was like, nah, bro, I came in this with you. Wherever you go is where I go. That's kind of like where he was at. I said, well, I'm going to find us a deal, but it's just not going to be with them. So Baby called maybe 2 weeks later and was like, bro, what y'all going to do? I'm like, we ain't going to mess with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, respectfully.
Right.
We're just not going to mess with it, bro. He called back. He said, say, bro, look, UNLV about to do whatever. Would y'all come open up for 'em at the Big Easy, same spot? I'm like, yeah, I'll be honored. I'm a fan of them.
Right.
I let her come. I come do it. We do Ride and Roller. In the song Ride and Roller, you could hear us say, I got the cutlass fitted up with the trues and vocals. Kango saying that in the song. We get off the mic. We kind of in the crowd. They come up. Got their towels on, doing their thing. Everybody jocking you in LV style. You're bragging to your boy about the trues and vocals. Pointing straight at us. I was like, whoa. Kango like younger. He looking like, man, we in this day spot. I'm like, man, let's go. So we go home. 4 o'clock in the morning, I call him. I said, we're going to change the definition of their name. The U is for unknown, N is for nothing, L is for low lights, V is for virgins. And write your verse. Just how the hook go, write your verse. And then the next week we went in there and did that song. And then the week after that, Big Boy Records or whatever, maybe 2-3 weeks later, we did the same song for him. Because we already knew that song had an impact, like from doing it the first time. Right. So when we did it again, that's what made Chuck be like, oh yeah, I got to sign them, Right. So a lot of people used to think that we dissed them before they dissed us. They just didn't say our name. So it made it look like Partners in Crime came out dissing UNLV, but not knowing that they was talking about us subliminally in everybody jocking UNLV style. So, we caught it because it was in person. You know what I'm saying?
So is that where the beef originated?
Yeah, that's where the beef originated, because from there we signed with Big Boy, right? Mm-hmm. So Chuck know his own. And they we trying to take our album covers. We got guns, Partners of Crime. We're trying to do these little different covers with guns. That just wasn't me. So I'm like, that look phony. Like, that just ain't how I get rock. Like, so I said, would it be gangster if we piss on his set? So he said, you ain't built like that. I said, see, Chuck don't really know me either. He didn't know me he learned me later, but he didn't know me at that moment as the kind of person I was. So I'm like, boy, I'll piss on his set. Sporty was with the shit. So Sporty like, shit, I'm gonna bring y'all out there. So we go out there, and we listen, bro. Honestly, nervous, but still, because I tell people I might be scared to do a lot of stuff. I might be scared within my spirit, but I'm brave enough to do stuff. So that's the difference. Like, I'm scared, but I'm still brave enough to go through with it. I'm scared to jump out of a plane, but I might do it because I'm brave enough to take the chance, right? So that's what it was with them. I was nervous, went around there, hurry up, come on, bro, take the picture. You know what I'm saying? Pissed. And got out of there. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like they said, they came early in the morning. We was taking pictures early in the morning. Like, not early in the morning, about 10, 11 o'clock, we taking pictures, and then it's looking like, man, this ain't working. And so this about noon, 1 o'clock by the time we come around there. It just wasn't out there, you know what I'm saying? And we got to get the picture off, and that became our first album cover.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's what made it. We had to make an impact with it as well. It's like, when Piss on this set, you dissing them, we got to go hard, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just how it felt.
So did it work?
Hell yeah. Shit.
Yes,
Well,
it did.
Because I asked because I'm not from New Orleans. So I had to go.
that was the biggest talk, brother. That was like, listen, that's what young artists doing now. But they doing it a little worse. They pissing on graves. They smoking tuka. Right. Like, they going hard. Like, we did that 30-something years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, meaning, like, what's the most disrespectful thing we can do? We did it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, where you took your album cover at is where we pissed at for our album cover. That's what it was.
Facts. Okay.
That's what it was. They took a picture sitting on some steps, and we took a picture pissing on these steps. So that was the end. That was, you could see where that went at.
Beef done after that. Ain't nothing left to say.
Right.
Yeah, I killed it after that one.
Right. So that's how that started. But it was good. It was great for us. It helped us get a name, and then we had music to back up the talk, like the hype on us. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had some good music.
How long y'all was signed to Big Boy for?
About 3 years, man. 3-4 years the max. We had a difference. We was getting paid from Big Boy Records. We was like the only group getting a royalty check. Everybody else wasn't getting like royalty checks. So I had got into it with one of the producers, Precise. I was inappropriately dealing with his girl, like, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't sex her, like, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, she was an older woman, and I was younger, my first year in college, like, right? And she was kind of entertaining me a little bit. And so I faked out one time, like when it was supposed to get real. I was like, man, I can't do that because I'm not a type of dude that could dap you off and be fucking with your girl. That's not me. I wasn't raised like that. I got a little more morals about me. So I just faked her out, and she called me a little boy and left me alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when we was getting paid our royalty checks from Big Boy, Precise came to me and was like, hey man, won't you give me $5,000? Let me keep $5,000 of the money in a reserve for you. That's in case y'all album don't continue to sell. And at 6 months, the next 6 months when it's time to get a royalty, if you don't got no money, you got $5,000. But he was like a big brother to me, so he was like educating me on how to count royalties, how to get money. So I come in the game knowing how to get paid from rap. So I would trust him. I was like, yeah, keep the 5. We was making good money. We was getting show money. We was getting royalties. Like, I'm like, shit, I'm rich. I'm ghetto rich. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, you can keep that. Like, hold that. Not keep it, but hold it. So 6 months passed. It's royalty time. We got more money to pick up. Chuck cut us a check. Man, I said, yeah, Chuck, every 6 months. Because listen, when I went and met with them, like he said, meet me in the office that Monday. When I met him that Monday, met the lawyer, I didn't know nothing about contracts. All I knew is the man said every 6 months they got to open the books to you and show you what you made. If you're in the red or the green, they got to show you. I ain't need to know nothing else about music. I was like, oh, that's how you get paid. So every 6 months, I'm like the date they drop, 6 months from that, on that date, I'm coming, Chuck, you got to open the books.
Right.
You're like, man, what the fuck? You know, but I was right. So they opened the books. Chuck was fair, cut the check. So they cut the check. I'm looking at the money. I'm like, damn. I said, yeah, this good money, but where my $5,000 at? So Chuck looking like, $5,000, what are you $5,000? I said, well, I just kept $5,000. And that's not in here. Right. I don't know what you're talking about. Go call Sites. Call Sites. Sites, yeah, but what about that $5,000? He was like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. He walk off on me.
Hey, what the fuck?
So when he walk off, I said, damn, bro, that's how you play me. I said, I should have fucked your wife. I should have fucked your wife. He rolled back. But I didn't look at him like a threat. Right. So I'm more like trying to talk to Chuck because I'm like, man, I want my money, man. Y'all niggas took $5,000 from me. I want my money. Boom, he stole me. Broke my jaw.
Right.
Yeah, but he's supposed to.
Right.
That was like the majorest disrespect ever. Like, yeah, you know, but I'm a little boy. I'm young, I'm wild, I fight a lot, and I'm just with the shits. So I'll do something to bring you out there, but I didn't even look at him to do that. Not that he was a coward, just that he was my big brother and that he'd have probably wrestled me more than snuck me, like, you know, whatever. But he stole me. Fought him a little bit, go home. I said, damn, man, but they gave my money. Chuck like, get a nigga a check. Why this check? These niggas crazy. Boom, wrote the check, can't go pull up. Can't go in, and the little dude that was kind of, not the little dude, but Big Rob, he was managing us. He was like, what's going on? Man, nigga, probably play me out some money. Boom, I got, can't go. I'm gonna give you your half. Ooh. So I go home, call my mom, I'm talking to her. I'm like, my face swelling up. I'm like, damn. She's like, man, you better go to the hospital because something might be wrong. I go to the hospital, my jaw was broken 2 places, like wired me up, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but I told you my pops, so my pops was in jail. But my pops, like, it looked like they heal shit from the streets in jail faster than you can. He telling me, like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm like, nah, don't do that dude nothing. I was totally disrespectful to him, and that's what come with it, like, you know what I'm saying? And but I fought Sice, you know, like I said, after that happened, like we like fought. When he stole me, we fought, and I squared up with him and gave him a fight, and it was good. But I just understood what it was about, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't even, you know, I had street dudes, partners, everything that was willing to, you know what I'm saying, make that out or something. I was like, nah, bro, like leave it alone. So me and Sice wound up getting back cool. I was the best man in this wedding the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? We talked. You know, I apologized for what I did. He apologized for what he did, and we was like brothers. You know what I'm saying? And back locked in. Man.
So when y'all first got to the label, who was there already? Was Mystical Fiend and any of them that guy?
No, Black Menace, Sporty T, Tim Smooth. I think that was it at the time. Mystical came after, and see, we was kind of like one of the guys. Mystical was, and listen, bro. People might look at this thing and think this shit a lot of shit, but do your homework. Mystical was like our opening act.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Because we was already kind of making noise on Big Boy, and they was about to cancel Mystical because he had a unique style to where they didn't know how to promote it. So I was like, man, let them open up for us. We were paying them $300 a show. Let them open up, and Mystical was like winning the crowd every time. And I'm like, man, you ain't Chuck. You go home at 6 o'clock. You not in these clubs seeing like the effect of what this dude doing. You're like, we ain't selling the records. And I'm like, cause ain't getting on him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bounce was easier to sell than what he was doing. Bounce was like the DJs playing that. So it was easier for people to gravitate on the bounce vibe of it than Mystical because they wasn't really at that time playing him in the club. But we doing the shows and he was getting on. But when Mystical came, it was just like game changer for the label, like, you know what I'm saying, at that time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Mystical was like he changed the whole thing for Big Boy Records for us at least.
Yeah, because I heard at one point, now Chuck from like the West Coast, right?
Yeah, he originally from New Orleans, went to the West Coast and came back.
Gotcha. So is it true that at that time he didn't see a vision, he didn't see anything special about Mystical, and he really saw y'all and G Slim?
Nah, he understood he was special. He just didn't think special don't matter if it ain't making no money. Chuck was about money. Like Chuck about, man, I'm putting my money into this shit. This shit gotta make me some money back. Like he looking for a return. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, sometimes you judge stuff off other stuff. I put Partners in Crime out. Shit, them boys went off the shelf out the gate. I put him on. They kind of like selling slower. You know what I'm saying? But they had to get on them. You know what I'm saying? And I think Chuck, you know, with him being a street dude, he looking for the money to flip fast. So that's the only thing he was concerned about. But we had a good team of people around us. So, you know, people telling me, like, look, we're going to promote this boy, got an impact. We seen it, you know what I'm saying? When I first seen Mystical in the studio, I was blown away. That he came in that mud with a little Gap hat on, some tree tones, you know? And I'm looking like, I didn't know what he was going to do because he looked at preppy and I didn't know what kind of rap he was going to do. And then he jumping up and, you know, going crazy. And I'm like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? This nigga like something special. And from every show that we ever was doing with the brother, you know what I'm saying? He was just killing it, bro. And I knew he was great from the first day I saw him. I was like, man, this is totally different from anything I ever heard, you know?
Right.
G Slim have an impact on the East Bank. I know he was from the West Bank, so
Yeah, they
he was
loved
big
him.
to us.
They loved him. He was like our version of he was a better version of me, and people might ridicule me for this. A better version of a Snoop Dogg to me. Like he could rap. That dude really could rap. He really lived that Crip life shit, and he was dope, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this side was fucking with him as well because you gotta understand the music sounded big. It didn't sound local. That shit sounded like they was with Death Row. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Chuck kind of like was trying to make his label be more like. He was like more like wanting his label to be like a Death Row than anybody else. So, you know, you saw Black Menace with the flannels on. And I was a little confused on that because they come like Black Menace from Hollywood Grove and they was into wearing ballys and shit. So I was almost like, I ain't changing my style. That's where you hear the song. Some of this stuff, like I got Gucci's and all that come from messing with them on the label of like, we ain't going that route.
Right.
We about to rep that shit like we're here, you know? Right. And so it had, you know, if anybody know anything about Big Boy Records, they had like a separation with us. They was calling one group of us the Bounce Squad and calling the other ones the Boot Camp Clique. So they was separating us. So it had a little bit of tension in there when we was trying to, you know, that's why Mystical said, I cut straight through the bounce market. Yeah. Like he was kind of dissing not just them, us. UNLV think they talking about them, but he really talking about the competition amongst us on his label. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never heard a song with Partners in Crime and Mystical.
Facts.
Right.
You know, which is funny, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you heard Shake It Like a Dog, but that's a song we did for Cain and Abel that they added Mystical on.
Right.
But that wasn't like us working together, even though we was, you know, glued together, kind of like working on every show damn near together at the time, you know what I'm saying? So, but we never, because they had that division within the label of like, y'all a Bounce Squad. We the Boot Camp Clique, you know what I'm saying? So they had us, Sporty, and other people like in that level, and they had Fiend and G Slim and Mystical, Black Menace as the Boot Camp Clique, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So did y'all, how did that whole thing break up, bro? Because y'all was running the city.
Well, when my jaw got broke,
It was a
that's a start, huh?
well, you know, our contract was up, you know, pretty much like a 3-year little bubble. And we had fulfilled what we needed to fulfill. So we have a meeting so after the fight, we have a meeting by Mystical House. And Mystical like, man, why y'all leaving, man? What y'all doing? And I'm like, so I'm kind of telling them like what we getting paid off of. Like, you know, like we getting royalties, we getting this. So Mystical like, me too. I said, well, you ain't really getting, you got the money from Jive. You got the money Jive paid you as a signing bonus or whatever. That's the money you got. You ain't get the money that you sold them records that Jive was interested in you from.
Right.
They owe you money. So they all talking about it. So everybody started going back to the label saying they want their money, they open the books, blah, blah, blah. Because they never knew, they just thought we was getting paid off shows.
Right.
They didn't never know about them 6-month things that I keep asking about. Like, so at that time, we probably was maybe one of the only groups that, at the time, they might have, Ghetto Twins came, I think they started getting royalty, like that, royalty checks, or whatever like that, but we was like the first to do it, because I know I was asking out the gate, you know what I'm saying? But when I talked to Misko and them, they was almost looking like they wasn't sure about that side of it. So when everybody started going back to get their money, it was almost like, everybody was like, damn, they're like, oh, you supposed to give me some money. So that's like almost like you was being disloyal to me to some level. So when P come along, Mystical Fiend went to P. Us and the Ghetto Twins went rap a lot. Black Men stayed with him. G Slim died. See what I'm saying? Like, so, like, some people stayed with Big Boy, some people moved on. And we went with rap a lot, but we didn't stay with rap a lot. We kind of went with the manager guy, and we started this label called
The manager, that was Rob Shaw.
Yeah, with Rob Shaw. Damn, I can't remember the name of the label right quick. It's gonna come back to me. But anyway, we started that label with him, and he was kind of giving us a percentage, like a CEO kind of thing. So that made us go out and get artists. That's where we go get Lil Slim, when got Miss T, Weeby, people like that, and was kind of building a new label with South Coast. That's what it's called, South Coast Music Group. So we started building with that, and because we was like almost like a CEO kind of partner type vibe. So that was our first like real business of being on that executive side of the game, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Rob, I guess, feel like he had to give to us, because he felt like, man, I've been rocking with y'all. I got to give y'all a percentage in this thing, to help me build this thing. So that's kind of like where everybody went their own way.
God, the surprise, like, Chuck never tried to ship the whole label. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, get a deal for the whole label.
That was the mistake he made to me compared to the other labels like the No Limits and the Cash Money.
Right.
They wasn't letting you either gonna buy into this whole thing. You can't buy one of our artists. Chuck was more like, I'm not gonna ride everybody off of this dude back. You know what I'm saying? Like, more like, I ain't gonna mess Mystical deal up by trying to say you gotta put all these dudes on. They want Mystical, let them have Mystical. Relativity want G Slim, let them have. So he was kind of like diverse to, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. Smart in his own way too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a bag from all these people instead of getting one bag for everybody when I could probably get everybody their own bag. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was his mindset at it. And but you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we didn't last long enough with the label to kind of like let all that transpire. Like,
That was probably a mistake, bro.
What you said?
And that was probably a mistake.
I don't see it as that.
You don't think so?
I agree with the way he did it.
For
the bag.
It was
If
strategic.
it was for the bag.
Strategic on his own way
Yeah.
too. You put everything in one thing, it don't work. Now everybody in the fuck deal.
Yeah.
You separated. Everybody got their own identity and got their own. They can run it the way they need to run it. And but Cash Money was more like, if you're gonna give me a deal, they made them pay for everything that they had. Like, and like, you got to give me a big bag because I'm already making millions. You can see this money I'm making.
Right.
Give me all the money. But I think all that was a learning curve from mistakes other people made, Chuck included.
Right.
Chuck make a mistake, baby, peep that. They talking to distributors the whole night. They looking like, oh, okay, what he did. Oh. And then they go with another move. So everybody was learning off everybody. It was a beginning stage for all these entrepreneurs that was CEOs at the time, and they was making mistakes, and some of them was good mistakes, like to a level like me, like it was putting them in a pretty good position. They didn't know what they was doing exactly, but they just trying to do what was best. Baby holding his sound, where nobody can get the artist and all that. I don't even think it was like, I think it became genius, but it wasn't where he was at the time. I just think he was more like, man, nah, I'm rolling with what I got. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? And, but some people would say, nah, spraying them with other artists could have made them even bigger, even fat. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I thought.
So it's a science to, like even with you saying no, but then the way he held them and them having the only sound made them the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, like you can't say he did something wrong when it turned out right for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it's important too to mention that these hustlers that you're putting into a business arena, so it's very different.
Right.
You think it's some similarities, but they were learning through the process too. I know a lot of people look at it as shiesty business and stuff, but they was learning through the process also.
Right. Yeah. It's all it was all learning curves for all those brothers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why some of the high boys or whatever may be looking at the game now like, you know, we was all young. You know what I'm saying? Like Baby was just trying to do what he thought was best, you know, or what was right. You know what I'm saying? Like in the time, you think like I supposed to get all this, I'm taking all this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, Baby always say I took all the risks. I put all the money up. Y'all rap, but I put all my money up. I really invested. I really went hard with that side of it. I fought for, no, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna do this. So, it makes you feel like, man, shit, I'm the one who made this shit go. You know what I'm saying? Besides the talent. Like,
Right.
So after Big Boy, you guys just pretty much been independent?
yeah, we did the South Coast thing. And then when they had Southwest had went out of business. Like we was promised like we was looking at some millions. And them bitches just went bankrupt on us. Never gave us one quarter. Like that's called putting all your eggs in one basket. We was doing Gonzalez and all these other distributors, but then Southwest was like, man, like we're a bigger distributor and we can put it everywhere and we put all our eggs with them and all that music that we was putting out with Weeby, Miss T, all them people just went under on us. They just like, we chapped her. We don't have no money. We filed in bankruptcy. So we didn't get none of the checks that we were supposed to get, which Rob was like, man, I can't even hold y'all no more. Y'all gonna do whatever y'all want to do, man, because it ain't his fault. But at the end of the day, I feel like, man, I don't want to hold up whatever y'all got going on. So that's when we started our own movement from there, like just me and Kango dropping our own music.
Well, bro, I've been wanting to ask it. I say if I ever meet this dude, I gotta ask one of them. What happened to Prime Time?
Prime Time was a street dude, bro, like for real. And he just didn't like the games. He didn't like the politics of the music business. And he was like, man, they gonna force me to kill one of these dudes.
Oh.
Like honestly, like, you know, some of the games, especially like when the fight and all that, and they finding out what they owe you money, and like he like a street dude that like really would have wanted to kill somebody behind that, like, you know what I'm saying? So he kind of was fading away from it, like, man, like this shit kind of corny, like these some square, like these dudes square to me, like in a way, like this music business people square, and they gonna make me crash out. So he's like, it's best that I just remove myself, and he went start working and started his own little business, like, and started running that route. He just didn't want to do music. I mean, he wanted something he could be totally in control of, like.
Gotcha.
So he started his own little trucking business, like.
Gotcha. So after that, at what point you turn into the family man? Marriage, kids. At what point did you go that route?
I got married in 91.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, so while you was in the heat.
I mean,
of it,
no. I'm tripping.
about-
01.
right.
I know my girl gonna look and say 91. Who you was married to? But no, it was an 01. My bad.
We can
been
edit-
drinking
we can
that
edit that
crown.
out.
But yeah, 01. I got married, and I just wanted to, bro. I was just tired of. I don't know. I just got tired of not having nobody for me. Felt like, you know, it felt like I had girls, but it was just like, there's not really my girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this girl for everybody. And I just wanted somebody. If I said if I lock in with somebody that made me feel like my first love, that I was gonna try to do right by, and that's pretty much how that went. You know what I'm saying? And what's funny is that the first girl that I had fell in love with, I had told her when because I didn't even know I really loved her. I don't know. I never went through puppy love. Like, you know, some people go through. I never experienced that. I used to look at my partners, they crying over girls. I'm like, what the fuck is you crying for? You fuck with Boo. I was like, why is you crying? And heart hurt. Like, I'm like, I just didn't get it, right?
Right.
And I caught that shit late in the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so, you know, when I left that girl alone, I let her down, thinking that that's how it go. Like, I don't want to mess with you no more. I think, you know, as I started rapping and I was getting more girls, like getting attention from more girls, I'm like, I don't really want to play on you, so I'm just going to leave you alone. And she was hurt by that, like you know, whatever. I'm like, I like other girls, so I'm going to leave you alone. Right. So I left her alone, but I know she had she made me feel like I felt what genuine love feel like. I knew somebody that loved me for nothing. Like, don't love me for the rap, don't love me for what I got. Just love me for my dirty draws. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dude ain't got nothing, and I still love this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I know what that felt like. So after leaving her alone, the duration of messing with different girls, I just never was feeling that feeling. And I was just becoming depressed with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, messing with so many girls, but not having nothing for self. You know, I call a girl, I can come over. Boy, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like they doing something else. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like, they had a right to do that because I wasn't a dude like that. So I just was saying, man, if I can get that feeling that I had from, my first, whoever give me that feeling, I'm gonna know she the one. And that's how it was with my wife. Like the first day I met her, I felt that. And I said, that's gonna be my girl.
Were you scared once you finally got that feeling? Because I kind of had a similar situation, right? Like first time, like damn, I think this. You know what I'm saying? Were you a little nervous about it, or you just went with the move?
I was for sure, brother. This girl, my wife that I'm with didn't never think that we could be boyfriend and girlfriend. She said, "Well, the lifestyle you got, like I don't want no boyfriend like that." I'm like, man, you boxing, you just boxing me in with people, like nah, you got to judge me for me. So I was just straight up with her. Honestly, I told her what I had. I got 2 baby mamas. I got one chick I sleep with at this time. Just honest. I was just honest when I said I got a chick. Because listen, I was messing with a girl and I just was like, I wasn't really attracted to her like that. But I was more like, if I could be locked in with her, like the girl that I really want, I could be good to her. Because I'm just gonna make this girl just one sex partner, like, you know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is I talk about it in the book, bro. I said, the girl was at my house. And I said, but I had already told her, I said, when I find me a girlfriend, I'm gonna let you know. Honestly. And she said,
She cool with
I'm
that?
gonna be your girlfriend. I'm like, no, you're not. So I go to Whispers. I meet my wife, and I come back home because I had told her to go home. Because you don't want no girl at your house because you might find something and you could bring them home. Like, I don't want you at my house. So I was like, you gotta go home. So I come home and I call her. I call her 3, 4 in the morning. I said, look, I got an old lady.
Damn.
So I ain't gonna fuck with you no more. She said, Mike, stop playing with me. I'm gonna call you in the morning. All right. You call me in the morning. I said, nah, I really found a girl that's my old lady. That's gonna be my old lady. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I gotta get serious with her and just leave her alone. And she was like fucked up about it, wrote me like a 5-page letter. And you know what I'm saying? I just like moved on. I was just locked in from that point. I was living with 2 of my partners. We had a 3-bedroom. I said, say, bro, when this lease up, I'm moving out. I moved out and we got married. You know what I'm saying? And I've been with her 27 years.
See, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about, James. Shit like that, you can't handle backup plan for shit like that. Shit like that is
No.
just
All right,
meant to be.
I'm glad you said that. Glad you
Go with
said
that backup plan.
Last episode, you saw it.
Yeah.
You saw it.
I'm
Now,
saying-
the thing say 50% of what was it? Married women.
Married women, yes.
Married women got a backup plan. So finally, another married brother on the set because they be giving me the blues, brother. They be giving me the blues. Do you believe that's correct? You believe 50% of people already have a backup plan in mind?
I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care. Maybe that's why I don't know. Because I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? When it's over with me, it's over with me. But
Right.
I don't care what you got going on after. I'm not no dude that snoop look. I'm not looking for nothing. Like, if it ain't presented, dog, live your life. Like, that's how I am. I'm not in your phone look. If I feel that way, I'm just leave you alone. I don't even gotta see nothing. If I feel in my heart that it ain't, you doing something that I don't, that making me feel
Aligned with,
uncomfortable,
yeah.
I'm just leave you alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I trust the gut. That's been my guidance all my life. For danger, anything I was doing, stop hustling. Just drop it cold and don't fuck with it. Everybody go to jail, I don't. That's how I get the name Mista Meana.
Bro.
Been doing felony shit with all my partners. All my partners convicted felons except Kango. But all my other partners convicted felons. My partners I really hung with. I'm the only one that's not. And Mista Meana stick with me because they like, man, bitch, you know when to quit. But that's all for gut feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing like, I ain't gonna mess with it tonight. Or I'm gonna leave that alone. And that's my guidance in life. So that's how I am with a woman. I got a gut feeling. I don't need no explanation. I don't need nothing. Ain't nothing. I just don't feel right about it. Love them, leave you alone.
You think that gut feeling come from just something instilled in you, or from growing up, something that you kind of picked up along the way?
From getting played, bro.
Yeah, from knowing females.
I got played. Listen, I got. That's
We can play too.
I got played by.
Everybody get played now.
I like this girl. And it wasn't even no love. It was just like I had a summer job, and she wanted some X3 tennis, And I was like liking her, so I bought it.
That's throwback.
And when I get to her house to bring it to her, I hear on the phone saying, "Girl, if you bring me them tennis, I'm gonna get them tennis, and I'm gonna like ditch him, like you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play him to the left." And I left, and I go home. And my mama said, "No, give it to her. And you leave her alone. You reverse game on her. You give it to you bought it for her, you give it to her, and you just leave her alone. She gonna come around chasing you after." And that's exactly what she said is how it went. So from that little time, like learning stuff like that, I started looking at like more like, I'm just gonna be me in the whole sense of anything. I ain't gonna adapt myself for the girl that you know what I'm saying. I'm just gonna be the person I am, and then the person that line up with me is be the person for me. That's pretty much how I looked at it. Like you know what I'm saying. Whoever line up with me, and I know I can't play with you, or I know what you stand for that make me get in line respectfully. Then that's the one. And that's kind of like where it was with my wife. She was like a woman that just don't tolerate certain things. And I know if I violated, she said something that was key. I asked a lot of girls a lot of questions about why. They were like, because I know you wouldn't play that. And when I asked her, she's like, because I got self-respect. Like, it was like, everything was about how she felt for herself. It had nothing to do with me. Right. And I was like, damn, that turned me on. Because I was like, damn, like, you just have that much respect for yourself that you don't want to see another man inside you or whatever may be the case. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't no get back in there. It's like how she felt for herself. You know what I'm saying? And once I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Self-respect, and I could build with that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That was easy,
So, guys, listen, right? Before we go into the other segment, we're going to take a little break. We want to shout out our sponsor for this episode, 1525 Bar and Grill.
Go ahead, 15.
Man, y'all go check them out. That's actually the address, too. So, y'all go holler at them boys over there.
1525 Lapelco Boulevard, Harvey, Louisiana, 70058. Ask for B or Boo.
There you go. So, we're going to be right back after these messages, all right?
Yep.
Beautiful. Bumping they shit looking like, damn, they from here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Amazed.
So you got the West Bank on track now. You good?
Man, nigga, you was
The West Bank was never off track.
You was confused now.
Because you gotta understand, as an outsider coming in, I don't hear nothing about the West Bank. You know what I'm saying? It's all about New Orleans.
They had their first. They was the first ones to get the run though, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it after the wave after though.
So what is it about the whole West Bank that people be like, man, I ain't fucking with the West Bank?
It's just not the inner city. So
It's like Kenner, anywhere like that. New Orleans kind of like.
It's all about the hype.
Yeah. It's all the same to me, but metropolitan area. You know what I'm saying?
he the only nigga that understand is the metropolitan areas. You know what I'm saying? Like
all of it.
Most places you go, like you go to Houston, niggas tell you they live in Houston. What part?
Katy.
Oh, Katy. But nigga, that's Katy, right?
Yeah,
but it's the
yeah.
metropolitan area of Houston.
Of Houston, right.
We the only place here. Oh, he ain't from New Orleans. He from Gretna. I am a nigga. I'll be that.
All right, people. Welcome back to the Den.
Yep.
So listen, man, we got Meana here in the house. I want you to tell us about the podcast. How did that whole podcast thing got started for you?
The way the podcast got started for me, I wound up. All right, let me go back. So I come across this brother on Clubhouse, which is Gas. So I go in this little thing, I hear him. I was wondering who he was because he was kind of like hype talking, like, and I'm like, man, what the fuck do is? Like, So anyway, I'm working on a project because, like I told you, I always think that I could be a great A&R. Like I got an ear for music. So I'm working with Skip and Dizzy from the Squad, who was with Lil Wayne. I was working with them on a project called Uptown Downtown. 4. It was the 4th edition of that segment of a project. So they wanted me to kind of come in and put things together. So I'm telling them, hey, bro, y'all need to, after we put this project together, we need to do all the podcasts. You need to get on podcasts, get your story out, to bring the awareness to the music. That's how it's gonna work. So I reach out to the brother Gas, and I'm like telling him, like, hey, bro, I want to get Dizzy and Skip on there. Man, when I want them niggas on there, they ain't won't come. Fuck that, you ain't gonna use me, boo. Hold up, brother. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it started through text, then we get on the phone. And he said, man, I'd rather interview you first. You know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck, you can interview me? Like, I'll do that, but I want my dudes to do an interview. Yeah, we can work on it, but so I go do an interview with him. And after the interview, he was like, say, bro, you ever thought about podcasting? Like, you know? And I was like, yeah. I said, I was looking to get into that. I was starting my own podcast called Inquisitive, something like that. Some of the name I had, some of the name I had for it. That was just an idea. And I didn't have a co-host, but I wanted to do it with a co-host, but I just, Kango didn't want to do that. Kango, I ain't talking on the, you know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that,
And
man.
he don't even come off like that type of person.
That's not his personality. Like Kango, a real studio rat, like, you know what I'm saying? And he's not antisocial, but he's like kind of introvert when it comes down to people like that. Like he don't like dealing with people to that. I'm more a people person. So he was like, I don't want to do that. So I couldn't find a co-host, you know. So when Gas asked me to do it, I said, yeah, I do it, but I don't want to do the interview part. Like when you interview an artist, I don't want to do that because I didn't think I had a skill in doing that. But I sit down and me and you could talk, but I don't think I could do an interview. So you're like, nah, I want you to do it, bro. I want to do this, and you know. So we talking on the phone about it before I committed to it because he kept saying, if you ain't gonna be committed, then you ain't the one.
Right.
You know, you gotta be fully committed when you say if you're gonna do it. I ain't giving you no tries. You're gonna have to be committed. So we talk, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna do it, bro. And then that's how I locked in with him. He already had the platform, already getting monetized. He had maybe 6,000 subscribers at the time.
All right.
And he was just like, man, so I'm asking him why me, and he was like, man, I just like how you know, I like what you got going on for yourself. I like that you're a family man. I like that you first of all, Mista Meana, you're a legend, and shit, you know what I'm saying? I just know that you can bring, you know what I'm saying, you know, something big to what we got going on. So I was like, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. Let's try it. Like, you know what, I was committed. Like, you know,
Right.
let's go for it and see where we go at with it. And that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years. And I love it.
What's the hardest thing you had to deal with as far as with the podcast?
I guess the backlash of people, like, you know, that
You read all the comments?
I used to. I don't read them no more. I used to read them. You know, it had a girl one time saying, you know, he straddled the fence. I'm like, nah, I don't think you really understand me. You know, sometimes people might think I'm younger than I am. So maybe the way I come across, I'm trying to be respectful because, like I tell Gas, I'm like, hey, bro, besides me doing podcasts, I still do concerts. I still be in a public eye. I still got to go somewhere. So if I don't conduct myself a proper way, I could be setting myself up for something. I'm on the spot. Somebody could be, he gonna be over there, and he just said this.
Yeah,
And you know, I'm walking into something, you know what I'm saying, that I don't even know that that's coming to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta be wise about how I speak on whatever topic, like, you know what I'm saying, because I'm still a public figure on another side, and I'm just, you know, I can't put myself out there like that. You know what I'm saying? And I got a family, you know what I'm saying? So I got to be mindful of all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? When talking about people and topics and things of that nature, I got to be on the right side of shit, you know?
You have a favorite interview so far that y'all done?
You know what I like the most? I like me and Gas talking, bro.
Yeah.
I think we get down to I'm not even that interested in people's lives as much as it may seem with talking. I really don't be, you know, it is what it is, you know, whatever. But mainly I like talking about real life topics, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I be hopefully thinking that people would grasp what we're saying and we can help somebody along the way through the conversations that we talk about, you know what I'm saying? So I just try to be as genuine as I could be, and hopefully it helps somebody that's kind of like tuning in. And when me and Gas talk, we just talk about whatever, like that's real to us. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother said, he wanted to take the conversations we have on the phone and bring it to podcast. So that's pretty much our chemistry of what we do. Is just the regular conversations that we'll have. Just tell you, yo, so what happened with your boy, man? And
Yeah, the more genuine, the better it is, you know?
start talking real life stuff about it. And just giving your honest opinion. Not trying to be on his side, he not trying to be on my side. Or if we on the same side of it, it's just what it is. But the thing is to have a genuine conversation and give me your real opinion about how you feel about this subject matter. So I always tell people, I'm like, we're not the news, brother. We you know, we just talk about what's on the surface of what's out there. I'm never gonna dig in your back, in your dirty, you know, laundry to find something out about you. I'm not investing that kind of time into to talk about nobody. Whatever's out there, if it's in the news and that's what they're talking about, I just give my opinion from what's out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much our take on doing the podcast.
So recently, y'all had Dr. Umar on. Do you think New Orleans is ready for Dr. Umar? Did you feel like you guys learned anything from him?
Dr. Umar is a real intelligent man. You know what I'm saying? On that interview, I kind of thought that maybe prior to doing the interview that we was kind of prejudged. That he probably thought we were just some young guys, street guys, and he was just kind of gonna just come speak his piece, and that was gonna be it. But it was informative, like what I'm saying. I think Dr. Umar is a real intelligent man. He know a lot about a lot of stuff. But in that particular interview, I just felt like we was over talked, meaning like we couldn't get our full question out before he already didn't think he knew where we going at, and then speak on it from that perspective. So it's like, hold up, but that's not what I'm saying. Like you catching the first part of what I'm saying, but you're not really hearing me all the way out. And slightly, I was feeling a little disrespected by it because I think I might be older than Dr. Umar. Right. So with that being said, it's like, damn, dude, you're not respecting me as a host, as well, a man, right. Grown man, and a host that's asking a question. Like, at least hear me out, brother. Like when I give y'all a room to ask y'all questions to give y'all an informative answer back, but don't just feel like you know where I'm going at and just like I ain't gonna cut you off and you saying. So I think that's what we was dealing with with that interview. But as the information that he was displaying to people, I think it was real informative, and I was honored to sit with the brother because I had, and I still got a lot of respect for Dr. Umar.
Do you think the school is something we need in New Orleans?
His school?
Yes, or something like that.
Yeah, I think we should be educated on our people, and getting the knowledge of, Black history for real, Black, real Black stories, like, what I'm saying, Black education, what I'm saying, kings and queen type shit. Like, I think we should know we came, it was us before slavery, like, what I'm saying, we come from some royal descendants, like, what I'm saying, I think that's, even that Marcus Garvey, stuff that he speak on. I've been reading on stuff like that, and I'm not a Garveyite like he said, but I respect some of the knowledge that brother used to share with us, and it was empowering to me to read some of his stuff. So if we got kids learning from the most impressionable stage of their life, I think that it'll make better young men and young women to come. So yeah, I would think we would need that around the whole United States or whatever. I think it'll be good.
I'm gonna say this. I respect the dude. I'm just tired of waiting for the school to actually be here. Like I'm gonna keep it 100. Like he been talking about the school for years now. You know what I'm saying?
10 or more.
Right? And we ain't see the school yet. So,
but he says he's not getting the. He says he's not getting the funding. Like if anybody tapped into that particular interview, he was saying that he don't have no celebrity friends that have donated to him. So he getting like donations from regular people, regular business people, things of that nature. Some people think that, but I like I say, even with getting the money, man, got to still survive. We still got lights and bills to pay too. So, sometimes people think everything should just go one way without my survival in it. Even nonprofits take something back for them. You know what I'm saying? You send money to Red Cross, only 30% of the money go to the people. 70% is still used for staff and the whole nine. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it could be a long run for them if you got to live like that and still trying to get something up and running, and you kind of like don't really have a real team to help you build it the way you want it to be built.
You think his personality play into any of him not getting celebrity backing?
Of course.
Yeah. Because listen, man. I think also people are threatened. He said it well on the interview. He said, if they do something wrong, then I can't speak like the way I speak about them because they gave me some money. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people wouldn't want to, they can't tie themselves to them to a certain way because the higher ups that's making their lives what it is for them, it can hinder them, or they can get attacked or get cut off because of them supporting something that they're trying to suppress as well. You know what I'm saying? So he fighting a hard fight, and I just think people are not looking at the entirety of like what it take to do what this brother is doing. So I'm not all the way. I'm not even if the interview didn't go the way I wanted to, I'm not a Umar basher or totally against it, but I still think that he's fighting a good fight. That's my opinion.
Got you.
Would you? So if y'all got the opportunity to do that again, what you think you would do differently in that interview?
Well, I have a conversation with the brother before and build some rapport with him before we sit down and cut the cameras on. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of get where I'm coming from. You know, it's like this brother don't know me well, but he's not talking a lot either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, the people that know a little bit more are asking more of what, you know what I'm saying, so that they can get the answer that they may be looking for. So, you know, I just think when you got a certain kind of rapport or a little knowledge of somebody, you know what I'm saying,
Right,
the interview
right.
could go. So I just think that he didn't have enough knowledge at that time of me and the brother Gas to know, you know, where we was going to go at with it, to know where the podcast was going to go with it. So if we was to do it again, and we sent that word out to him in a recap podcast that we did on that particular topic, we like, look, I hope this get out to Dr. Umar so he can know. So it wasn't like we was trying to bash him or shit him down. It was just more like we just would like to do it again with your brother and on a more, you know, build more rapport type side of it so that we can kind of laugh and gel a little bit more about some of the things that we're going to ask him. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think some of these leaders that's in the movement is passionate, or you think they have like a level of arrogance? Because I think in our generation, we saw some of the same things. We just wasn't as sensitive about it. Like, we knew this person was going to be a little rowdy. We knew who was going to be calm. It just seemed like sometimes we're a little bit more sensitive and don't really see the vision or the passion that they have.
I think, you know, you can have passion and still don't come across as arrogant. You know what I'm saying? I just think arrogant is his own thing. If you're arrogant, you're arrogant. You know, but if you're passionate, you know, I think the words you use when you're passionate about it, people could perceive passion and know the difference between being passionate and arrogant. Arrogant is me. That's like an arrogant person. A passionate person is we should. I'm dying to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? They more like, you know, trying to get you to understand like what's needed and what they trying to do more than You know what I'm saying? So you know, arrogancy turn people off. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't think passion directly turn people off. You know what I'm saying? I think it draw people into you. They be like, man, he really passionate about what he's doing. I'm gonna support that brother.
Right.
But if you arrogant about what you say, I'm like, man, fuck him. I'm like, about to give my money to no, you know what I'm saying? You're an asshole. That's how people look at a lot of arrogant people. They're asshole because you're shitting down everybody else as if they don't play no part or could, you know what I'm saying, or rise
help
up with
you.
or
Yeah.
help you, right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that could be a turn off.
If you could interview anybody on the podcast, who would it be?
If I could, Jay-Z, man.
He'll be a
For
top.
me. Yeah. Yeah, he'll be one of my. It's either Jay-Z, and I also would like to interview. What's the Reverend? What's the Muslim brother? Farrakhan.
Oh,
Farrakhan, and the reason why, because I just got my own questions about some things, you know, that I just never heard nobody ask Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? So I got some things that I would like to ask him and get that answer. Even if you heard me in the Dr. Umar thing, this was an important question. And you know, I heard he had a company, and the company was like, that was stupid. But it wasn't a stupid question if you would have let me get my whole point across. So what I was asking him was, I was like, your name is Dr. Umar Johnson. And I said, but why do you still carry the slave master last name when you are a person that's against slavery and speak against it the way you do? Why you still carry the last name of the slave master?
that's a good question.
And he says, I did change my name. It's undoubtedly, whatever name he said in Africa, right? And he was like, that was given to me by a priest. I'm like, you know what I mean, brother? I mean, like, Muhammad Ali's name was Cassius Clay. He changed it from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali, meaning like, that's gonna be my name. That's what I signed, that's my checks. My name is changed.
He legally changed.
Illegally changed my name, not a name that, because you can give me a name, you know what I'm saying? They call me Mista Meana, somebody could have gave me that name, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, legally go change your name since you're an advocate against slavery and things of that nature. So that's the kind of things I mean. Like let me get my whole my question out so you can give me an informative answer back about exactly what I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So during the interview, the person that was with him said that was a stupid question?
She was like, how they don't know Well, that's what the cameraman was telling me, cause like like the cameraman, she was like standing next to the cameraman. Like, stupid question, like he telling me that. I'm like, it's not a stupid question, you know what I'm saying? But everybody know he changed his name. I'm like, no, he didn't change his name. He really did.
Umar Johnson?
Yeah, you just changed the first nigga. You changed your first name. Nigga.
What did he sign on them checks?
Right.
What he sign on them checks? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, you know what I mean when I say change your name. But that's the play on me. Like, that's the insult of intelligence right there when you trying to make it like, I did. And I know intelligently you didn't.
Right.
I'm looking like, man, I ain't with it. But I don't want, I'm not here to debate with you either, brother. But you know what I'm asking you. You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that, So yeah, I would like to sit down with Farrakhan and ask him, you know what I'm saying? Some stuff I always wanted to know.
So it's funny you brought up Jay-Z, right? Because we have a segment on the show. We call it the top 5. So what would your top 5 artists of all time be, starting from like number 5 and number 1 being your all-time favorite?
Number 5 to number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be any genre. It don't matter the genre.
Okay. My number 5 will probably be. I like so much music, bro. So I'm just this shit might change on another podcast for right now. But she was in my head for right now. I like. I like to do it 2 ways because I like to talk about groups sometimes and
Yeah, it don't
talk
matter.
about
Run it.
So I'm gonna just say single artists. We're gonna start with single artists. I like DMX. I like Nas. I like Wayne. I like Jay-Z and Drake.
Drake, your number 1?
Drake, my number 1 now. Ooh. He used to be my number 1, but he my number 1 now. And it's because of, I guess, the way that he can go through all these different genres of music and give us all. And he's a dude that he kind of like let you in his in his world like to a level of like things that guys really feel that they would never see. Drake said, then he can ball up on you and give you something. And he got substance in things that he talk about, talking to his mom. There's so much music that this brother put out that I can relate to, you know what I'm saying? And, his delivery and his melodies and things of that nature. So, yeah, Drake my top dog right now.
New Orleans top 5.
New Orleans top 5, I would say Tim Smooth, J-Dog, Juvenile, Wayne, Soulja Slim.
Who's the upcoming artist in Nola we should be looking at?
I like Trey Billy, man. That's Kango's son.
Yeah.
He's so diverse, so good. I like Junior Montana. What else? There's a lot of those little younger artists that I be tuning. I ain't really like locked in with too many names on them. I just be liking their vibes for the most part.
J-Dog's son.
J-Dog, Jay Jones.
Jones, yeah.
And BTY was my dude. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my brother. That was my little brother. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I saw him about to go all the way, to the next level of the game. But he wound up, So rest in peace to BTY. Like that hurt me. That really took me out the music business. I didn't want to do music no more. I didn't want to work with artists no more, nothing, because me and BTY had this relationship to where if I make it, big brother, you coming with me. I don't care who is with. Cash, money, whatever, you're going to be right here with me. Every contract he ever got, it was brought to me. I looked over it, circled things, told him bring it to the lawyer to get, to make sure that it was up to par. And we just had this special relationship. And he was the most loyal, besides Kango, he's been the most loyal artist I ever worked with. He never sold me out. I'm talking about money that I wasn't even due. He had me look over a contract for a show, and I think it was for $5,000 or something. And I just said, hey, everything good, He threw me $1,000. I'm like, I don't need your money, bro. He was like, no, man, come on, bro. Take the money, bro. It's you. You know what I'm saying? So he was like one of the most loyalest ones I ever dealt with. Everybody else was like more like what they could get from me, but not what they can give back to me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So, bro, you've been a part of a group setting for a great deal of your life, right? Part of a major group of PNC, and now with you and Gas. what advice would you give the younger generation that's either in a group or trying to pursue things musically? What advice would you give them, or somebody that's watching us right now, or like us, there's an up and coming podcast that's trying to do things within a team setting? What advice would you give?
Be transparent, bro. Transparency is key. I don't have, the secret agenda stuff is just, it's just not cool. I don't know, not when you're building relationships with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I think when you're transparent with people, you know what I'm saying, they can see you, you know what I'm saying, for really who you are. You know what I'm saying? And transparency leaves things open enough where it don't be as much confusion, because like I'm straight up about everything that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And telling people what you don't like. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? So that y'all can really gain transparency. To be transparent with each other, because I just think those conversations mean a lot. Like when you just being honest with the person about who you are and what you're looking for, and I be straight up out the gate. Like, this what I need, this what I'm trying to do. So we won't have to waste time. You'll kind of know, like, I can't work with him, or we can't do this because he's straight up about what he want, and I'm not willing to do that. So we ain't got to go through nothing to kind of, you know what I'm saying, get a surprise later. But yeah, just be honest with people, bro. Be passionate about what you do. If it ain't something that you really love, I don't think it's something that you might need to be investing that much of time in, because you really don't love it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes if you can create the value, the money gonna come. Well, every time, you know what I'm saying? If you create the value at what you're doing, people will pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Money will start coming from it, because, you're really passionate about, doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what I suggest to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Just be real, bro. Just be a real one. You know what I'm saying? If you're a bitch ass nigga, be a bitch ass nigga. Out the gate, let me know. It'll save a lot of time. It'll save a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? Let your word be law, bro.
Facts.
A lot of people say stuff, and they say stuff they don't really even stand on mean. And I'd rather people just be straight up with me. Even if it hurt my feelings, just let me know what it is, and I'll deal with it from there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, for the people that don't know who this gentleman is, can you tell people how to find you, your Instagram, your Facebook?
I'm Mista Meana on Instagram. That's MRMEANA_PNC. That's on Instagram. On Facebook, I'm Mista Meana, but I'm spelled MistaMeana. And you Google me, Partners in Crime. You know what I'm saying? I'm there.
Before we get out of here, let's talk about your newest member of PNC, your granddaughter.
Sam. That's my heart, man.
You wanna hear some go DJ. Now we some real hot stepper boys. I know the boys. Everywhere we go, they call us Kanye. Stepper boys. Yes, you better believe. It's PNC, the boys that make the morning scores drop that. We be all in. Real house at the town. Shop all in. Friday sold up from Texas to New Orleans. Summer squad PNC, we be double all in. We all in. So everybody in the city say that we be back.
I don't know, Symphony, that's my first grandchild, like granddaughter, grandchild, period. And I don't know, she just, she touched me a different way, because it's the seed of my seed, meaning like I made mistakes in raising kids because I didn't have an example. My dad had been in jail my whole life, and I just learned from people on the street. Like, I looked at men and said, I like that about him, and adapted these ways with me, some good, some bad, you know what I'm saying? And I come up like, my mom had me at 14 years old, so we come up like a brother and sister, not really like a mother and son. So a lot of my, principles, like, my mom was kind of stern on me, because she was trying to do what a man would do, like trying to be hard on me a way which was, you don't really know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So my mama punished me for summers and summers, like the whole summer for, I knocked this glass. Oh, you staying inside, but it was really a way to protect me. Because if I know if you're inside, I ain't got to worry about you in this project running around and get hurt. So it's like these funny little ways that she was trying to do, but really it kind of like made me a certain kind of person. So when I got my kids, I was stern, thinking that that's the way to be. But when I got this grandchild, I'm much more mature. I've learned a lot more about life. So I'm more open and more patient and more, receptive to her being a child and being impressionable to a level of like I know how to gift her with a certain kind of love instead of being so stern. Having the sternness so in front of the love that you don't even feel the love because you're so, man, this nigga mean. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and she still think I'm mean a little bit. And I kiss her ass. And I'm still a little mean.
Hey, listen, man, we all do.
right.
Every last one of us wrapped
So,
up, bro.
Yeah, but, I've brought, my kids on stage, if they wanted to go. And Symphony is one of them that be like eager to do it. So every festival or anything that I'm doing that's to the public, that she could go to, I let her touch the mic because I just think that helps kids get out their shyness. They get to put their personality out there the whole nine, and it frees them at such a young age to when they get older, they be like, I've been doing this. I'm not scared to speak in public or be in front of public eyes like that. So I give her the opportunity to do what she do. You know what I'm saying? And she always win the crowd over.
She built for it.
And I love her, bro. I love my daughters, bro, but it's just a different kind of love with this child.
I tell them that all the time.
And there's nothing against my daughter. It's just that I'm just older, and I just receive a different kind of way than I probably did my own. You know what I'm saying?
I tell them all the time, it's a different love. It's something you can't explain, but Damon Wayans recently explained it as a way to love somebody, give the love to your grandbaby, the love that you couldn't give to your own children.
That's what it be. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I was trying to say. Mm-hmm. But you summed it up good. But yeah, that's pretty much where it be at. I'm just like I learned a lot. I'm the type of guy that sit down with I have all daughters, so I sit down and I ask them like, what y'all don't like about me? And I was surprised that they made me feel small as a golf ball, like in a way, like hey, I be walking on eggshells, So I stopped smoking weed because of my daughters. They was like, when you don't smoke weed, you mean. When you smoke weed, so we be and I'm like, oh no, I won't be judged, looked at like that. So they kind of changed like the way I move in life, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I love them, and my sternness wasn't because I don't love you, it's just because I thought that this would make you better.
Right.
And and a lot of them told me what they didn't like, so they kind of prepared me for like a symphony when she come to kind of understand more what I did wrong to do right, and that's what Symphony giving me that second chance to be a better version of myself with somebody that I love.
So, well, them grandbabies make y'all soft.
I be sorry.
I be looking at my daddy. I be my daughter be running my dad. I be like, nigga, you gonna let her get away with that? Like no, like she like the stuff I could not get away with. Like that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I get it though. Like. She explained that to me one day, what she said about that, and I was like, dog, that makes perfect sense. Because I see my parents with my daughters, and I said, like, all right, it makes sense.
You understand it?
Yeah.
It's a different love. Shout out Big Sim.
Yeah, shout out Sim. I love you, baby.
Yo, I'm going to do one more thing before we get out of here, bro. Get one more thing.
Let's get it.
If Big Chuck, Rob, Sice, if they take the baby route, put the whole label on, they take all of us, one and nothing. Do you think Big Boy Records turned out to be as big as Cash Money or No Limit?
Hell yeah, man. The roster, even when it was broken up, longevity in the artists, the Ghetto Twins still working. Partners of Crime still working 30 years later. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm booked every weekend, brother. Fiend, you know what I'm saying? Working. Mystical. Working, you know what I'm saying? Like, Black Menace, they went through because when my partner J-Dog, he had a aneurysm, so that took them out of business, like for us working the way that they was on, the way they're working. When Sporty was here, Sporty was still working, you know what I'm saying? So we had a nice roster that if we'd, Tim Smooth, one of the greatest, you know what I'm saying? If that would have got exposed to the world, you know what I'm saying? Who telling, you know what I'm saying? But I'm, in a lot of ways, bro, I'm kind of glad it didn't go the way it went because I wouldn't have these things that are priceless to me, like my family, my kids. I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have my wife, like, you know what I'm saying, bro? Mm-hmm. And like somebody asked me if I was if Baby offered me an opportunity and that would have worked out, would I take it now? But I was like, no, like no money in the world, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the richest man in the world because you couldn't give me enough money to erase those people in my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I understand what true value is, and it's them. You know what I'm saying? So a dollar amount couldn't I wouldn't give him up today for no amount of money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sacrifice him, do nothing like that to get rid of him. So I got what I supposed to get him in the best place I could be at. There's a lot of people got a lot of money, but they don't got no love, bro. They don't even know who love them. They don't know why you're around them. They more miserable, and they become more a person that's in prison to the money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't trust nobody. Like, and I never wanted to live a life like that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to know why people really around me and what's the real reason. And I got the real reason, and it's more valuable than anything to me. Mic check 1 2. Cause yeah, it went away like
it fade. I'm gonna give you flowers, brother. Like I told you before, y'all are the soundtrack to our childhood.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 44, and from middle school all the way through high school, through early adulthood, going to clubs and everything like that. It was partners in crime. Anywhere we went, any club, any high school dance, any middle school dance, it was partners in crime. And I was telling her, I saw y'all like in December at 1525 for karaoke.
Right.
And I was telling her, I was like, bro, you know what I really appreciate about them dudes? They still doing their thing, and they became distinguished men, right? Like y'all grew into y'all roles. Y'all weren't out there trying to be something y'all not, right? Like you still stayed hip and you still stayed in y'all lane, but y'all grew in that. And I appreciate that about y'all. Another thing I appreciate, man, is seeing BG on the show, right? Seeing you shout out Lil Ya recently with some of the struggles he going through, and knowing the history of those things. So that show growth, and I'm proud of y'all, bro. I appreciate you for coming through, bro. And
I appreciate y'all having me, man. Real talk, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, people take for granted people want to know your story. You know what I'm saying? And I'm honored to be able to still be here and tell my story without somebody else telling my story. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was honored. I was provoked to do a book. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, man, I want to do autobiography. I don't want nobody else telling my story. So once I got the breath in my body, let me kind of tell my story for myself so that it don't get twisted to somebody else's opinion on how they felt like it should have went. Or I talked to his daughter. They only gonna give the perception of what they know about. You know what I'm saying? So let me write this and take the time and kind of give these people my story, because I know we all got an expiration date. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know when mine's gonna be. But before it come, let me go ahead and document this and put this in stone. So that's what made me want to write the book. You know what I'm saying? So.
Is the book still available?
Yes, sir. It's gonna be available for the rest of my life. That's the honor in having a book. So the book is called Untold: A Story of an Unknown Legend. Some people say, well, why you call yourself an unknown legend? I said, because they got people that call me a legend, but they got people that don't even understand why they call me a legend. So in their world, I'm like kind of unknown, but they don't know some of the things that I've been through. Like, people wouldn't know, like I said, Mystical opened for me. I had opportunity to sign with Cash Money. I was on Downside Hustlers with Master Pete. They don't know certain things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So with them not knowing some of my stories, like I'm not a legend to them, but I'm a legend to other people. So, it's like, okay, I'm kind of unknown to the world, right. But if you get into my story, you'll have a better understanding of who I am and what roles I played in, some of the people that they may know, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Yo, close us out.
Yeah, I'm gonna close this. So once again, people, thanks for joining us on the Den podcast, Nola, season 5, episode 2. Want to thank our special guest, Meana, for dropping by, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me, brother.
And don't forget to follow us on our new YouTube channel called the Den Podcast, Nola. I'm your host once again, Higher Level.
J. Till.
Ariana Grande.
And we're going to let DJ D-Lex take us out, all right? Yeah, thanks again. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
DJ D-Lex.
Hot girl was sitting by the bayou. My hot girl to you, hot girl. I got a hot boy that is fire. Talking about a hot boy. Hot boy. Say what? Level 2, now you know I go. Break it down. If you're from the 17, won't you make noise? I say the Bird Town building got some hot boys. If you're from the 10 wall, won't you make noise? I say the St. Thomas building got some hot boys. If you're from the 4 wall, won't you make noise? I say the Alba Bear building got some hot boys. If you're from the 3rd wall, won't you make noise? I say the Callio
feelings got some hot boys.
If you're from the 9 wall, won't you make noise?
I said desire feelings got some hot boys.
If you're from the 7 wall, won't you make noise?
I say the St. Bernard feelings got some hot boys.
If you're from the 15, won't you make noise?
I say the Bishop feelings got some hot boys.
If you're from the 6 wall, won't you make noise?
I say the North Key feelings got some hot boys.
It's your favorite girl, DJ
We all the hot boys and the hot girls. We gonna do something like this. Check this out. Follow me now, cause I'm a hot boy. Follow me now, cause I'm a hot boy. I say follow me now, cause I'm a hot boy.